Hi guys, it's me, just listening again. And what day is it today? It's Friday, Countdown Friday. Yes, indeed. I will be talking about Friday the 13th Part 2 for this video that will be dedicated to the month of Halloween, October 2025. Now this video is more or less like a redo from when I had it on the hard drive and it went kablooey. My mistake. Yeah, I put a magnet near my hard drive by mistake. I'm sorry, but my remote control for the air conditioning had a nice magnet attached to it. I'm not thinking properly of what I put it to it. So a lot of my stuff got erased on that, and I dropped it. So yeah, that probably right. But I just because I've seen the second movie in the franchise, the Friday the 13th franchise. Now I gotta admit, I do like the setup because unlike something like Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, 4, etc. This one is more like a by seeing the word part 2, part 3, whatever, what have you, it's more or less like a chapters in the book. Like they were continuing on from last chapter. Whereas if you do a sequel with traditional Roman numerals or number 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, it seems like they're like just adding it on like haphazardly. Again, like we're done with this, but then we're gonna add more to it, and then more to it, and then more to it onto that. So it's kind of sloppy. At least the parts, at least they had an idea about continuing it. I don't know if they really did that in real life, but that's how it seemed. So anyway, I would consider this movie to be a horror movie, of course, because Jason does the executing killing this time, not outsourced to his mommy. But I would consider it a fantasy movie as well. Something along the lines of, say, Neverending Story or Lord of the Rings movies. I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, this movie picks up right where the other one left off, with Alice, the girl from the first movie, being played by the same actress, and that she's settling down after her encounter with Jason's mother, played by Betsy Palmer, Mrs. Voorhees. A very good actress in that role, I will say. And right now she's having a PTSD flashback of her encounter with Mrs. Voorhees. Saying that, that my son was drowning in the pond or in the lake over there by Crystal Lake. The horny teenagers were making love. I have no idea if they still use that vocabulary when describing had sex. Did they say, "Oh, making love to my girlfriend"? That doesn't make much sense. But whatever. But what have you? To each his own, right? She's an old woman, so I figured that she would be used to some like old-fashioned terminology like that. So anyway, she's talking she's having flashback of the movie footage from the first movie, in which she is struggling with Mrs. Voorhees, and then she kills her and found the spirit of Jason. And I'm not sure if maybe they put like additional footage in there, because I don't remember the I don't remember the movie actually having some of the struggle scenes in it. So they might have shot new stuff for her. I think that she's in the credits for part 2, so I guess that they must have shot more stuff with her, with Miss Palmer in there, just for the hell of it. Be different, I guess. So anyway, she's having these visions of these dreams about Mr. Jason and Mrs. Palmer and all that. About the boy in the lake and all that. And she just little kid playing outside in a freshly made rainstorm. And she's singing the Infinity Spider. So while that's happening, a big man is over there walking in the rain where the gate was, and he's marching toward Alice's house. Now, you take it into like a first person view from him going into the house. Kinda like Brahms the boy. And it's weird because, the first person perspective on this, like you get safe and sound into your house until whatever is putting you in danger goes inside the house. Then you know that something bad's gonna happen. But they play with our expectations a little bit, because of course the girl Alice had to get into her robe, undress a little bit, get into her robe, make some nice tea. So when she makes herself the pot tea or kettle tea, whatever you kids say nowadays, she ends up she goes to open up the icebox, and she finds that Jason left a little gift of a severed head in the box, in the icebox, in the refrigerator. So that stalls her. Now I believe that the head is supposed to be from the first movie, one of the counselors. So there's that. So then he kills her in front of her newly quiet cat. Kind of weird to be a witness, but whatever. I guess he likes cats. He never struck me as a cat person, but I guess he likes cats. So it's really weird because he's polite enough to actually take the tea kettle off the stove burner, so it doesn't overflow. That's very sweet, You kill the owner, but yet you have managed enough to take that off the burner. Real nice, real classy, Jason. Next thing you know, you'll be having crumpets with his tea. So then we cut to the new rivals to Camp Crystal Lake, or as they call it, Camp Blood, or I should say the next door camp that shares the same lake location with Crystal Lake. And it's 5 years after the fact that, after the big massacre. They have the famous they have the games where they play around with each other and they prank each other and all that. And they get each other ready and stuff for when the kids come and play around and do whatever they do at camp. I never went to camp, so I don't know exactly what goes on in camp, but I hear it's fun. Being a guy in a wheelchair, I can't really have fun outdoors. That brings me to one of my other points in this, in that there's a camp counselor, camp counselor trainee that wants to become a counselor, but he's in a wheelchair. And the main problem with that is that I don't care if you're built like Joe Swanson or like me, for example, a real life example, but if you're built like that, you would have enough sense not to go around outdoors like that in a wheelchair, in a pushchair. You know, I could only imagine what kind of danger and what kind of rough ride I would have if I were dealing with my electric scooter on the rocky terrain and the roots and all that stuff too. So I can't imagine myself doing that kind of thing on a with a pushchair. You know, if I were ever gonna do a camp counselor gig, I would definitely want to do it with a nice smooth area. You know, no big hills, no big roots, no trees, nothing that can bug me down as far as transportation goes. You know, possibly a nice paved area too. That'd be nice. But also, for the same matter, there are no handicap access ways to the main building. Of course, there's a ramp that goes from the porch area indoors, but then to get up to the porch, it was to go up like 3 stairs or 4 stairs. So I don't get how this guy's supposed to get around unless he's supposed to go just stay indoors and just stay on one or two houses worth, which is kind of cool if you ask me, but I don't know, maybe he likes that kind of thing. So anyway, it's like play around with them, they have fun, you know. Of course the guy is Jack, so he's his only main source of entertainment is is arm wrestling the other people. Now, I would do arm wrestling, but my father said no, you'll hurt your arm that way. I don't know, you know, whenever I do it to anybody else, it doesn't bother me whatsoever, but he's gotta be overprotective, but that's beyond the point. So, one of them brought the dog to the place, which I don't know if that's allowed to bring a dog to a campsite, but it's a little Shih Tzu, cute little Shih Tzu. Now, it's named Muffin. So, it just might be my adult mind thinking of this, but at one point in the movie, dog gets lost. You know, they killed by Jason. So, I can't help but think that there's gotta be something, questionable about a pretty girl losing her muffin and having to have everyone find a muffin for her. That and the fact that at every opportunity that other counselor guy tries to uh, sexually harassed her by taking her clothes when she went skiing dipping. It was a bad idea, and smacking her ass with a slingshot shot. So let's go with me to be the sexual comic relief in the movie. So I'm pretty sure that the muffin thing was trying to be funny and cute. So anyway, we got the people getting ready and stuff, and then this is why I consider it to be a fantasy movie, because the other counselor, a girl, who always spends time with the guy in the wheelchair. She even goes to the beach with him. Now, as a person in a wheelchair myself, I can speak from personal experience that regular standard wheelchairs, even electric scooters, and sand do not mix. You can insert your own Darth Vader quote in here, but yeah, if I bring my scooter over to the beach or something and I get footfall on the sand, I will sink in the loose dirt. Even in gravel, I'm not good at gravel, but this gravel won't permanently screw up my machine. So yeah, that's a no-go on the believability scale for me. But also, there's a part in the movie where they want to get naughty with each other, make love, not war, or Warcraft. And at one point, there's also a portion where they have one of the other council guys has a game system, a handheld game system, kind of like Mr. Game & Watch, or say a Game Boy. But I can't think of where that's from. I think it might have been something original just for this movie, because this movie came out 1 year after the original Friday the 13th, so it probably came out like in 81, so I guess it probably came up with some new fangled system or something, with new in-touch graphics and all that stuff. And so back with the other people trying to get on. I find it very fantastical that two people would fall madly in love with each other, and one of them is in a wheelchair, and the other girl is fine and dandy and can do whatever she wants. So I find that highly unusual that a person would find anyone in a wheelchair that's attractive like that. It'd be like a Beauty and the Beast type scenario. Especially after only meeting the guy for like 2 or 3 days and you really have sex with the guy. That's kinda hard to believe. But I find it interesting that when Jason finally does get to kill them, number one, he kills the guy first, and in a very delightful way too. I find it very delightful because he's in the mood. He's about to get the ultimate good stuff, and she's getting ready. She's getting her things ready to do the deed, and then Jason kills him with a tree-marked machete. And honoring these movies to be killed by a machete. And what happens is he falls off the porch in the wheelchair, and then there's a very convenient long staircase to the ground level below. So then he falls backwards off it, still in the wheelchair. So I find that very, very funny. Kind of remind me of something that would happen to me. I finally getting ready to, do unspeakable things to go along with that. And then all of a sudden, some axe murderer kills me or beheads me. And then, there's no giggity time. So that's what would happen. But besides that, unfortunate problem with him, it's also really funny that that what the guy knows that when it comes home to her, the girl that he's about to, pin the tail on the doggy with, play pancake with, he slashes at her legs. So I don't know if that was a kind of reference to think that he likes a disabled person, or if it's just a random thing that happened. But it's something that I don't know. I want you guys to tell me if you guys think that it's coincidental that the guy slashed her legs first. And let's see here. Let me talk about Jason for a minute, because Jason does do the killing in this movie. Like I said, he doesn't have Mommy do it. Mommy Dearest, I should say. But the only thing is that they said that it was 5 years after the events of the first movie. So he must have had his Wheaties, or he must have been eating his spinach, because he's a beefy boy. I mean, really, really beefy. Real tall and real muscular. And for some reason he puts on a sack over his head, like an overall. So he looks like a real redneck murderer. They didn't invent the hockey mask for him now, but they took him that. Another thing too is that for someone with severe brain damage and a severe deformity because of it, and we actually see that we actually see him without the head covering. He acts very non-development disabled, because he can touch traps, he can walk quietly, he can do all this without the help of anybody else, and he can decipher, whether to kill or whether not to kill. And the thing is that people with that severe brain damage, I've seen people with a little bit of brain damage that can't do their stuff by themselves. But he obviously can. It looks like he can't dress himself. He can do his shoes and laces and all that to be a perfect little axe murderer. I know people with far less brain damage, they can't do that type of stuff for themselves. So that's kind of unbelievable. It's almost as if they put a grown man in there to be the killer, and they want to hide his face because, having a man with a full beard like I do, it's kind of hard to believe, being just 5 years after the events of the first movie. I'm gonna assume that he was maybe 10 to 12 years old when the first movie happened. So 5 years after that, it would probably be He probably somewhere around 17 or 18 years old by the point of this movie. Yeah, if you really want to stretch it out, you would say 20, maybe 22 years old. But still, this little a grizzled old man, a grizzled older person, like around 30, 35 years old, possibly 40 years old, and shit like me. So, there's that too. Now, the main girl in the movie that survives the last girl complex, her name is Jenny. Not Jenny, but Jenny, like the drink. And she's smart. She's going to college for child psychology, which will come in later on. And she abstains from sex. Now that's a big deal in the movie, that people who have sex or make love, as they like to say, usually die a horrible death at the hands of the Voorhees family. It must be like a family job that they do. They pass on from mother to kid and then other people. So, yeah. It's actually pretty funny if you think about it like that. It's like a family tree that gets passed on from one to another. So, I'm thinking now, killed the old man from the first movie that wanted everybody to have to go there. He kills, all the guy with the girl there. He kills one couple right after they're making love, by stabbing a spear through them so that together forever in penetration love. And it's funny because the girl that is killed is very bouncy, if you catch my drift. And the guy is, at least Jason had the wherewithal to let them finish before it killed them. Unlike Kevin Bacon from the first movie. It really resembled that a lot, because the guy looked similar and he was penetrated by a sharp object. And the girl that was looking for a muffin was killed too. I forgot exactly how she was killed, but she was killed. One guy was killed by getting hanged upside down and his throat was slashed. We never see what happened to him exactly. But you know what? This movie runs on the twist and middle logic. And that you can kill as many innocent people as you want. But if you kill a dog, you're seen as the devil monster. Because that's what happens. Muffin or Muffy gets killed and mangled by Mr. Voorhees. And yeah, I'm gonna say that because there is a place in New York State called Voorheesville. That's a fun little thing for you guys. I'm sure they probably have no connection to Jason Voorhees whatsoever. Anyway, he's like, you know that he's going to help with just a poor dog. And they also teased at the end of the movie that that the dog was survived, but they did use it for a trap to kill the girl, which turned out to be a dream like in that first movie. So I guess it must be a dream that the dog survived. So Jason Voorhees really did kill the dog. That bastard. Going to hell just for that. I don't care how innocent or how child like he was, he's going to hell for killing that mutt. Anyways, it's a cute dog too. Anyway, the one part where he goes at the girl Jenny with a pitchfork. And it's very funny because, well, in one of the cabins, she ends up striking him down with a chainsaw, much like Leatherface. And then, but much later on, you find that he built a little shrine to his mama, and in his own cabin, which requires a little bit of intelligence to do that. But anyway, beside the point. You got you got him over there. The shrine to the mother actually remind me of the scene from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, in which they show the grandmother there, just barely surviving with a chainsaw in her lap and a big looks like a big head on big man with bone and flesh. Kind of like in I know I just saw the movie together. My favorite one in the franchise, next to the first one. But I just wonder how it was possible that she was able to just barely survive when there was no way that any of the other family members in the Sawyer family could get up there to give her nutrients. But whatever, that's a different franchise. But also, I noticed that when Jenny and the big boss hug, Jason was playing the game and tagging in the woods, chasing down and stuff. I couldn't help but notice that he broke into the room with the shrine in it, like Jay Torrance in the movie The Shining. I felt like a huge Jason as he ripped apart the house. Now also, when I'm thinking that, there's the famous whenever he's around and is about to strike down somebody else. But when he's chasing Jenny, I know that maybe it's because she lasts longer or because she's the main girl. They play a violin tune very similar to the Psycho theme when the girl is being stabbed in the shower by Norman. So that's actually pretty cool. It will probably influence from that movie, from like classic movie all those years ago. So anyway, he chases it down. They go to his little cabin in the woods, and she ends up tricking Jason because of her child psychology classes. She's able to tap into his memories of his sweet mother who violently murdered many people in the past on his behalf. So, it's like a late posthumous birthday gift to her son, I guess. So she puts on a sweater, which is in pretty good condition, considering that's 5 years decayed. Same with the head looks like a taxidermy job by Mr. Bates. I guess there might be a little bit of crossover between that movie franchise and this universe too. So I guess that this movie universe crossover with another famous movie franchise before Freddy vs. Jason. Got you there. So yeah, the taxidermy job on the head is pretty cool. No way on earth a person with that severe mental disability and deformity could possibly have the patience or skill to do a taxidermy that caliber. I mean, it looks like Will Wilson from Castaway. But anyway, that's the point. She does her hair like him, like her, and she puts on the decayed sweater of the mother, and excellent Betsy Palmer. And you actually see the transition between her and Betsy, kind of like the holographic projector of Vigo in Ghostbusters 2. That's another weird reference to a different movie, but this movie came out after Friday the 13th 2. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So Jason, still with the mental acuity of a child, thinks that the mother, that Danny is the mother, is his mother. So he obeys her, kneels in front of her, and right as Danny's about to whack him in the head, he comes to, and then he starts attacking her again with a pitchfork until the boyfriend comes in and tries to subdue him. And then right as this big powerhouse of a man is about to defeat the boyfriend, Jenny slashes him with the machete right across, right over here. She should have gone for the head. And she ends up knocking out. He takes off the head covering, and then they go back to civilization in the form of their own cabin with life and stuff. And he lived there. They should decapitate him right there, but they don't. And so he sends little Muffy over there to lure them into a false sense of security. And while the boyfriend looking at the dog and pet the dog and with the dog, she's over there with the pitchfork ready for him to come through the door. But he comes to the window, and could easily put ha ha, Nelson from the Simpsons in there. So anyway, it's revealed that it was all a dream, and that Muffy is really dead. I know it's a big surprise that Jason's a cat person, and he could easily kill the cat, but he killed the dog instead, which means that he's a dog murderer. So he goes straight to hell, do not pass go, do not collect $200. And so, that was that. She wakes up from the dream, and unfortunately, Paul her boyfriend, her heroic boyfriend, who saved her life against a like monster, is dead. And no one can be seen. Her dragged off to the house to be a sacrifice to the spirit of Mommy Dearest. So yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was pretty groovy. I like the fact that Jason is the killer, even though it's kind of hard to believe that a little kid like that would grow into this monster of a man, only surviving on forage food and whatever you can find in the water in the lake. And no one actually seen Jason kind of leads me to believe that he was an urban legend. Which, by the way, I like that he was an urban legend, like a cool story, like Bigfoot was the Wendigo monster. You know, it grew from an actual ghost story to being an urban legend, which was like a pretty good, like Candyman. And I like that he got really creative with the kills, with the pitchfork and machete, pushing the guy down the stairs on a wheelchair, just to make sure he was doubly dead. That even if he did survive getting hit with a machete, he still had to climb up the stairs again. What would have been even more silly is if they put him on like a Buddhist temple of staircase, like in Ace Ventura, when Ace Hole, there was like a whole mountain of stairs there. They had to climb like a thousand stairs. That would have been funny at all. And I enjoyed the fact that he did the old classics, like stabbing a couple in bed. I like that. Where he also killed the old man with a garrote wire around his neck. And it was pretty cool. Let's see here. Yeah, at this point, I think that you could definitely attribute him coming back from more and more abuse and punishment to be more of a supernatural cause than his mother. Because the mother was more believable as a human being. And plus, I like the way they put in it that pot is still legal. And that they were saying that the kids, the counselors, smoke better pot than I do. Meaning Paul, the head counselor. I don't know how it goes. Like, I guess he's the boss of all the other counselors, and like Jenny, it's like his number one girl, or his number one counselor, right hand man, or right hand woman. That's actually pretty funny. Let's see here. Like the way I like the way to go into part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, etc. Until it's over. Until we get to Jason X, when Jason goes into space. Like all the other Howard franchises. Let's see here. I'll talk about that eventually. Well, I'm also glad that YouTube didn't cut the core. Yeah, and the blood in the core and Murphy killing and all that stuff. But yeah. So I thank you for watching my video on Friday the 13th part 2. I did this for the whole month of October in 2025 because it's a fun movie. And I give this movie my happy face seal of approval. And by the way, when I reviewed the song Friday, I wrote Break of Black and mistakenly forgot to give one of these to, because she deserves it for all of her hard work and for all the bullying that she went through and coming up on top. Plus, since I forgot about the rotoscope on her face, it did the color and skin. So that was actually pretty cool. But this movie deserves this too. Because it's so much fun. It's so much fun to see him get creative with his kills. By hanging upside down by over here. If you like what you see here, you want to see more of my videos on my channel, you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, you can comment me for future stuff on my other videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. Or you can follow me on Twitter or X for it at P Nelson Pro. My email is jjsviewingchannel at gmail.com. jjsviewingchannel at gmail.com. So, I salute all you guys who like all these horror movies and Friday the 13th franchises and all that. But also, one other thing I forgot to mention in here that I've been meaning to talk about is that of all the counselors that I mentioned for a wheelchair guy, couple, the girl that wanted to, have relation with the wheelchair guy, Ginny, Paul, and some of the other guys in it, they're all named in this. All the people have names and are credited with stuff in the Wikipedia and the basic search for the movie cast. But there's one cast member that is not listed in this. And I had to go to IMDb for this information. There was an agent counselor in there. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like Asian women. Of course you're gonna know that. But when when I first saw this movie years ago, who is that? I don't remember an Asian person being in this movie. Sure enough, there was one this time around. But they don't care about her. I mean, she didn't even die in the movie. So they might as well care about her. If you got a slasher, if you got unholy dog killer, they care more about the dog dying than they do about this other mystery person. And I was like, of all times that I should care about an Asian person, they should put her in the movie. they should put her, at least something, she got away from the killer, or she ran away, got the cops or something, or rather, she have been in the movie more. And when I did the IMDb on this girl, her name is China Chen. Okay, that's a little bit too much on nose on the head. That China Chen. That's like calling me Italiano Landricina. It's kind of painfully obvious. Well, like calling the disabled counselor there, crippled wheelchair. But in any case, I looked her up. She's got quite a few movies under her belt. Unless maybe she had a contract where she didn't want to be killed by a ugly creature of pure evil that kills puppies. But whatever. Her name is China Chen. Look her up if you want. She did. So, peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video of you girls and guys in Internet Land. Sayonara, salutations, hasta la vista, baby. Have a happy Friday the 13th.